Yo, what's up guys, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Great League video. Today we're going to be showcasing our good friend KitKat's battles. Big thank you to KitKat for the battle submission. She sent us in a fun team that she hit legend with. On this team we have Mantine, Venusaur, and Shadow Quagsire. I want to put a huge emphasis on Shadow Venusaur in this video, because I think in next season's meta, Venusaur and Shadow Venusaur, I think in particular, are going to be huge core breakers to the meta. Having a look at PVPOKE's next season's rankings here, we have Clodsire, Carbink, Feraligatr, Gastrodon, Dunsparce, Mandibuzz, Clefable in the top 8. We can beat Clodsire if we shield, we destroy Carbink, Feraligatr only beats us if they beat us once. We do very fine into Dunsparce, it's pretty neutral. Mandibuzz, pretty bad matchup, however, you can take an ace and you can land a Sludge Bomb. And then Clefable, you just absolutely destroy it. So you're seeing here in the top 8, you've got Pangoro here by the way at rank 9. In the top 8 or 9, you don't really have that many negative matchups. Mandibuzz is about the worst one. Everything else is very, very good for Venusaur, or at the very worst, neutral. If you have a look at Venusaur this season, you have a lot of wing attackers, steel wingers to deal with. Now we're seeing that the top meta in the Great League is very, very threatened by Venusaur. So we have a lot of fantastic play into the top 8, who cares? What about the rest of them, King? What about the rest of them? Well, let me show you folks. Pangoro, Bastiodon, Machamp, Malamar, Quagsire, Toxapex, Marowak, Azumarill, all of those matches perfectly fine for Venusaur. Now, breaking it down a little bit, we destroy Pangoro, we resist the Karate Chops, Night Slash not going to do too much. Bastiodon, with the lowered smackdown damage, is not going to be able to farm for us as quickly. Machamp, we resist all of the moves of course except for Stone Edge, but we do outpace it. Machamp has an opportunity to go for baits, however you can threaten to one-shot it every time you throw a charge move. Malamar here with super effective Psywave, that will definitely add up over time. I would assume Malamar wins the 2s here. Quagsire, no chance. Toxapex, 2 frenzies roughly knock it out. In the 2s they can beat you going straight Brine. And that's of course if you just shield everything. Very fine matchup there. You destroy Marowak and you destroy the Azumarill. So we're seeing here, Venusaur is not really caring too much about anything yet. And moving on to Jumpluff, of course negative match for Venusaur. A Shadow Aerial Ace will hurt. However, so does Shadow Sludge Bomb. That will threaten to do a lot of damage to the Jumpluff. We have Licky Licky. If Venusaur gets off a Frenzy Plant on that thing, it's going to be curtains for it. They do get to the body slams pretty quickly. However, Shadow Frenzy Plants hit diff. Gallade Shadow, again super effective Psycho Cuts, but you don't really have to worry about the charge moves. Drapion does destroy Venusaur, but again, Frenzy Plant's a crazy good move. Drapion is glassy, so it's not really so horrible for that matchup. Once again we have Jumpluff, Machamp, Registeel, which you can pretty much beat them in the 2s with Venusaur, and Aurorus, pretty bad matchup for Venusaur of course, but you still have the potential to one-shot things, so even in the matchups that are pretty bad, you're still threatening a lot of damage. You're threatening one-shots, you're threatening super effective damage, you're threatening at least neutral damage. If you're not just shielding this, that, and everything, Venusaur just has a ton of play here. And just to kind of wrap out the PVPOKE rankings here, Diggersby, Machoke, Quagsire, Golurk, Marowak, all positive matchups. Sandslash, of course, not so great. Quillfish, fairly neutral. They have Ice Beam, Poison Sting. Poison Sting is buffed, but it is neutral for Venusaur. And with Regirock, they do outpace you to Stone Edge. But in general, you're going to one-shot with a Frenzy Plant. Just to quickly wrap this out here, we have Whiscash, Bastiodon Shadow, once again it's positive for Venusaur. Shadow, Alola, Marowak, Sandslash, of course, not going to be good. Steelix, pretty fine for Venusaur. Definitely neutral at worst. Galarian Weezing, you have Sludge Bomb before. Brittle Swing, even though buffed, not really going to do too much. We have spoken about Drapion before. And Florges, not a Pokemon I really expect to see. I think the 3 most popular fairies, and Pokemon that you're going to see a lot, are definitely going to be Azu, buffed Clefable, and buffed Wigglytuff. So I think you guys are getting the picture here. Venu's going to be very good next season despite the PVPOKE rankings. Sometimes rankings don't mean everything. Certain Pokemon don't have the best overall matchups against the entire meta, but may have some very good matchups into the top meta in PVPOKE. Venusaur probably ranks a little bit lower because of its bulk. It can beat a lot of Pokemon, but Shadow Venu of course is very glassy as well, so in some neutral matchups, it definitely can get a little bit tricky with it. With all of that being said, let me know in the comments down below, which Pokemon do you think is secretly getting buffed next season? I think 2 to look out for are definitely Venusaur, Sandslash, and a third one is probably Diggersby. In this video so far, you've already seen a lot of fantastic gameplay, some of which with Shadow Venu, and of course KitKat is just a fantastic battler. It's a bit of a tradition, she's been sending me in her battles for the last couple of seasons, whenever she hits Legend. I think she was live on stream getting Legend, but she did manage to record and send in the Pikachu Libra set. So once again, big thank you to KitKat. As you guys have seen if you've watched the channel for the last year, couple of months, KitKat has made an insane improvement at this game. KitKat has been such an OG in this channel. Whenever she joined our Discord and started watching my videos, I had never hit Legend. I think she was pushing towards getting Veteran for the first time. Now she's consistently hitting Legend with fun teams and even playing for the Home Slice homies. Anyway guys, hopping into the battles here, we've seen the pink turd in the lead. We're gonna see what the opponent comes into. They come back into the Wigglytuff. So if you've seen this team before, you've seen it 100 times, right? Wigglytuff lead, Ape on the swap, Polly in the back. The opponent's putting it all on 2-shield Polly. Kit Kat, very good awareness there, just to swap out, not allow the Polly to get too ahead in energy, because we only really have one way to take this out. I haven't really been paying too much attention to the footage yet. If I remember correctly, Quagsire is going to be on Aquatail Stone Edge, so it will be exceedingly difficult to take it out. So we're going to have to try to do some work with the Mantine. If we were able to make it to 2 moves here, I think we have a chance of winning. Otherwise, this will be looking pretty tough. RB and counter down range. Mantine is super thick. You do make it to the 30s here. That's absolutely huge. We're going to basically be able to get the opponent's final shield, and at that range, 1 extra wing attack will pretty much put it into farm down range. I can see it coming, Kit Kat. I can see it coming. Don't do it to him. He's got a family. She comes in with the Quagsire and goes for the catch on the Venusaur. Ladies and gents, smash a like on the video for Kit Kat. That's absolutely disgusting behaviour. The opponent immediately top lefts after getting that caught on, and to be honest with you, I cannot blame the opponent. Very good games well played, and hopping into the next one we have Charjabug lead. This typically comes with Azu, so whenever I see this, I don't feel too scared about this. It's typically Azu. I've been seeing this with Vigoroth on the swap, which of course is pretty fine for Vigoroth, but it's not like a direct hard answer to Quagsire. The opponent actually brings in a Lantern. What is going on here? Could this be a double it's ABA Electric, of course. Could this be a double water team? I've seen this for Feraligatr. Of course, if it is the team that I showcased a few days ago, this could actually be Goodra. I'm really interested to see what the opponent's running here. And the opponent goes for a Surf, it will knock us out. And it's Daddy Venusaur time. We're going to absolutely load up on energy. We're going to be coming out of here with 2 Frenzy Plants, I'm sure at the very least. We're going to load up. This is a huge opportunity. Whenever the game gives you lemons, you eat them all, bro. I don't know if that's how that saying is supposed to go, but you eat them all, you drink them all. If you have a massive opportunity like this to get a huge farm, you definitely take it. We're going to go for the Frenzy Plant on a CMP time. We're up a shield, we're up energy, we have very low health, but I can suspect that, oh, it is actually a Mandibles here. Unfortunately, because there was some sort of weird swap there, so I don't blame Kit Kat for that timing. But as we're about to see, bang! That's what I talked about with Venusaur next season. You're going to see that that damage is not insignificant whatsoever. So we are starting to get very low. We kind of need Venusaur to take care of Charjabug as well. We're in a bit of a pickle here, folks. We're in a bit of a pickle. I think we need to get a catch. The only way I can sort of see us winning this match is if we do get a nice catch here. Sludge Bomb coming in. Like I said, look how much damage the Sludge Bombs do. We do get the catch on Mantine. Now, of course, we will be getting Volt Switch down. We still can get to a move, and if the Charjabug throws a move really quickly, it might even be worth shielding here. You basically need to get shields off the opponent. I do like going straight Ace here, because 1 Water Pulse is not going to do it. If you can threaten double Ace, that starts to make the opponent think about shielding, starts to make them think about throwing energy, and we're starting to just sort of farm it into a range, or it's starting to get into like Frenzy Plant range. It's starting to get super uncomfortable. The opponent is getting very greedy. This one Vine Whip here is going to take them out, and that's GG's. So what was a very bad lead, we had ABA Electric against our Mantine. At a certain point in the match, we had Mandibles on Venusaur. We got off them 2 Sludge Waves, they done a ton of damage, and that's how we won that match. We get a Charizard in the next match, and the opponent comes into a G-Fisk. It's actually an Excadrill. We do go for a CMP tie here. We can definitely take a move, and we can basically outpace the opponent to 2, no problem here. Very positive matchup here. I do suspect that the opponent might let this go, and we'll just easily outpace them. So that's perfectly fine. We get swap here, which is fantastic. It's not like Charizard's a great answer to this either, because we can just spam Aqua Tails. The opponent will come out with a lot of energy, and despite the energy being resisted on Mantine, you don't necessarily want to take that. We of course do get a shield. We do not want Charizard anywhere near this thing. The opponent probably goes for a Blast Burn here, does more raw damage, does roughly about 45%. They are going for Dragon Claw, which I think you would be safer going for Blast Burn in this situation. Kit Kat does shield, maybe thinking the opponent was baiting, so it's kind of funny that they know how good that match is. And speaking of Regirock, here it is, ladies and gents. We're going to see it here, once and for all. Yeah, I think you do let this go, because you don't really want to feed the Charizard. As you can see, we can easily take out Stone Edge. Over-farming, Kit Kat isn't over-farming Andrea. She's going to shield up the Venusaur, which is perfectly fine at this point, because we can look to basically go for the Frenzy Plant, look to go for the Sludge on the Charizard, and that'll basically... Oof, that was a little bit rough there. I think you could have probably over-farmed a little bit there. Just make sure you're up to 2 moves before throwing that one. But I think we should still be fine. And the opponent is forced to take the move, and yeah, that's just GG's. Not a whole lot the opponent can do there. I think it's great that we were able to see the Regirock matchup. You can just tank it, make it to 2 Frenzy Plants, and basically just, yeah, outpace the opponent. As you can see, Kit Kat's getting the new message. Your item bag is full. Niantic, of course, trying to remind her. We do get the Pikachu Libre, unfortunately not shiny, and by the looks of things, not a hundo, but Pikachu Libre nonetheless. You absolutely love to see it. I think Kit Kat's currently sitting around like 3100 or more with this team. so she's currently pushing leaderboards here. Even though this is a fun and spicy team, what I have noticed is a lot of people are moving over to next season's Pokemon. They're trying to basically test these Pokemon out, test them out in this current meta, and you're just seeing the results of it here. I used Venusaur myself on stream today, and it just absolutely cooked. We come into the Venusaur here, get a huge energy lead, and like, even if Ape comes in, like, we're still going to two-shot it. The opponent comes into a Victory Bell. I'm sure that's almost, I would say, very close to one-shots here. We'll see what the opponent wants to do. Bang! They do shield at the opponent. The opponent absolutely and yeah, we're going to go for the Sludge Bomb here as well. Now, we could let this go at this point, get a huge wing attack down, but I do like preserving the Venusaur. The opponent clearly is weak to this. This is starting to look like the Toxic Trio, Bastiodon, Victory Bell, Wigglytuff. We do want to take alignment against that team. We definitely want to put the Mantine back on the Wiggly, and of course we want to put the Quaggy in the Basti. Now at this point, what we can do is just get a huge overfarm. We can just Aqua Tail this thing at this stage. This is getting super low, of course. We've done so much work into it, and that is absolute curtains. That is what I like about Venusaur. Does very well into the Toxic line, beats Bastiodon, beats Victory Bell, beats Wigglytuff, all in individual matchups. It's not a Pokemon that can take the whole team by itself, so you definitely will need some backup, but it is a very good sort of Pokemon for dealing with those types of teams. In this matchup right here, we have the Lickitung. Mantine does fairly decently into this here. It's kind of an awkward one because we don't have a direct answer. Venusaur in even shields and even energy does very fine, because basically we just take a Body Slam, outpace to 2 Frenzy Plants, of course winning CMP. So that's very, very fine, and it's 665 for Frenzy Plant. So, you know, generally it's pretty good for Venu, but we're seeing here that Mantine just done so much work there. We get a nasty farm down with Venusaur, and that's kind of how, yeah, oh, they come in with Ape, that's crazy. That's kind of how you have to play Venusaur, get energy leads. They come in with Ape, they have to shield everything, dude. Are we going to shield a Night Slash? We do shield a Night Slash, which is completely fair. We have so much of an energy lead. We can basically just outpace the free moves here. We don't even have to take a Night Slash in this matchup, which is fantastic. You're just seeing the power of Venusaur here. Kit Kat played that very smart, right? Because instead of just running out of the matchup into some other thing, right? She was like, okay, I stay in with the Mantine, I put it into a range where I don't have to take any charge moves, take minimal fast move pressure, and get like 4 Vine Whips ahead. And look at this now, just absolutely cooking the opponent's team. We're committing to 7 and 4 for good timing, and like I said, Venusaur just destroying the whole team by itself basically. Bang, goodbye Azu, and that's GG's. Whenever you have like a glassy sweeping type Pokemon, you basically don't always have to worry about alignment. If you have neutral or good, you basically win, right, with an energy lead. So you play for the energy leads and basically try to sweep with your back Pokemon. Bastiodon, we're about to see that this is such a fantastic matchup. Kit Kat absolutely refuses to throw in bad timing here, goes for the extra. We're going to 1 throw. Of course, you know, the shields are for Venusaur, right? So if it means not throwing in bad timing, like this is where we want to put the shields anyway. They come into Sableye. I believe Venusaur wins CMP, or at the very least, I think it's an IV dependent CMP tie. Sableye can win this one if they're very attack weighted. I believe they need to have at least a 10 attack stat to win the CMP. I think, yeah, at this point we do have to let it go. We've taken both shields off the opponent, right? We've done very, very well here. We will need a Stone Age to take this out. I think we probably... I wouldn't mind shielding the Quaggy, but I can understand not shielding it. You don't really need to, right? Kit Kat here is going to go for double Aqua Tail. I'm not too sure, to be fair, if Stone Edge would have knocked out. They could have just left it at 1 HP. If it was the Shadow Sableye, you'd of course definitely go for Stone Edge. Unfortunately, we do get the CMP tie here, and at this point we're putting it on the Mantine. Back in comes Bastiodon. Mantine, of course, receiving Water Pulse as a buff last season. Fantastic buff for this Pokemon, gives you a lot of coverage against the Steel types. Unfortunately, the opponent does just about make it to a move. So we've seen Bastiodon, we've seen Sableye. If it is something in the back that we can somewhat deal with, we should be basically fine. They come back into Sableye. Is it Bastiodon double Ghost? We farm it the whole way down. Oh, they come into a Victory Bell. So it is very similar, right? Sometimes you see this with Bastiodon and Trevenant. This doesn't quite one-shot the Victory Bell, but this thing has to get the off my screen. GG's, thanks for playing. I take great satisfaction in seeing Basti and Wiggly teams, or sorry, not, well, yes, Basti Wiggly teams, but Basti Vic teams, I take great satisfaction in seeing them go down. And we come into Quagsire here, and the opponent meets us with a Lickitung. We do outpace the Stone Edge. It is 17 licks to the Power Whip. The opponent shits their pants and shields the move, and that's quite interesting. I think we just let the Quag go at this point. Once again, it's Venusaur with energy time, right? Okay, Stone Edge does a lot of damage, makes sense, makes sense. I think it's crazy that really bulky Pokemon shield their Body Slam beat as well. The opponent just, I don't know, the opponent's in shambles, folks. If they're in shambles now, they're about to be in even greater shambles. We're going to come in here, tank the energy with Mantine, and I think you guys can see what's about to happen here. We get this thing dry. I think we're going to look to basically maybe even take one more move. I think this is the key opportunity right here. You come in with Venusaur, start getting energy, or maybe Kit Kat decides here that because we have such a bad matchup with the Lantern, right, we might as well use the Mantine in this situation instead of, you know, taking a lot of damage on the Venusaur. We need Venusaur to complete the sweep, so maybe she decided in that case that health is more important, which oftentimes that can be the struggle to kind of decide, do you want health, do you want energy? Kit decided to go for health on this occasion. We one-shot the Lantern, and in comes Wigglytuff. GG. Thanks for playing, ladies and gents. We're going to go for the Sludge Bomb. By the way, if you're in the ones, you just go Sludge Bomb. But in the twos, like Vine Whips and Frenzy Plants, just completely destroy that thing. Once again, I take fantastic satisfaction in that. We have a Mandibles lead, and we definitely just stay in here at this point. They're on Air Slash as well, which Venusaur wants nothing to do with that. The opponent does a lot of Air Slashes and comes in here. I would be inclined to stay in at the very least to throw 2 moves. You don't really want to feed Venusaur to Mandibles, right? So like, you don't, it feels so bad bringing Venusaur in here now. I think you just stay in here, play it out, even leave your switch clock open, right? Ice Beam, sure, no problem whatsoever. We can still take this out. We're up a shield. We've seen what Venusaur can do up a shield, and now we're going to see what it can do up 2 shields. This Feraligatr is going to get taken down to farm downtown. We're going to put up a shield here, keep some health on our Venusaur, and back in comes Mandibles. Now, this is really bad with Air Slash, however, Mandibles, not known for its attack stat, not doing too much damage with these. First, Sludge Wave goes through. It is ever so tempting to shield this move, but we do live it. Oh, actually, never mind, we don't live it. We come into Quag, and I guess we're just trusting in the Quag sweep here. I think I can smell something. Do you guys smell that? I smell something on the horizon. Oh, the opponent goes for the catch, and what? Huh? 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 Opponent? What are you doing? What are you doing? The opponent catches a move from Quagsire and Bastiodon here, hoping it to be a Stone Edge, but as a result, they're going to get their move caught on Mantine. We're going to come back in with Quagsire, farm up to 100 energy. We're going to hydrate the dinosaur. Nasty Basti, the donkey dinosaur, is about to get absolutely drowned in this Aqua Tail. Mandibles is about to meet the edge of stone, and that should be absolute curtains right here. I do believe this will one-shot from this range, or very, very close to. Good games well played. Once again, big thank you to KitKat for the battle submission. Very much appreciated. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts and opinions on Venusaur in the comments down below. Last but not least, and most importantly, have a fantastic rest of your day.